Mario is back yet again with another version of the original Mario Brothers, this time for the humble Atari 2600, which as you can see had two different label variations. Which one do you like better? I think I go with the blue, but I like how this one has more of a picture in the label. Anyways, they're both the same game. Let's go ahead and take Mario Brothers, pop it in my Atari 7800 Pro system, and see how these versions hold up today. Let's go to the game. Mario Brothers was published by Atari and carries the copyright year of 1983, the same year that the Nintendo arcade game came out. It was programmed by Dan Hitchens, who also did the great conversion of Berserk for the Atari 2600, which I reviewed in episode 154. Man, I've done a lot of episodes, haven't I? Mario Brothers is a single-screen game for one or two players simultaneously. In two-player games, players are not able to directly harm each other, but they can push each other into enemies. However, in this version, hitting the platform underneath your partner will have no effect. There are 8 variations of the game that adjust the number of players between 1 and 2, the number of lives between 3 and 5, and if the fireballs show up or not. Just like the Atari 7800 version, the manual tells us that Mario the Carpenter and his brother Luigi need to clear out creatures blocking their water pipes or they will never take a bath again. Mario Brothers plays like a game of joust, in that first you must knock out your enemies and then you must touch them to take them out. If you don't touch them quick enough, they will revive and be able to move faster than before. Control-wise, you use the joystick to move Mario or Luigi and the buttons to jump. You attack the creatures by hitting the platform they are on from below to knock them over, but one enemy, the crab, takes 2 hits to knock over. If an enemy is already knocked over when you hit them from below, they will revive, but they will not be any faster than before. This can be helpful if you feel you can't touch an enemy in time to take them out, but you don't want them to revive moving faster than before. In the 2600 version of Mario Brothers, enemies always pop straight up when they're hit from below and never arc to the left or right. When only one enemy is left on the board, they will speed up. Once you take out all the enemies, you can move to the next stage. There is also a Pow Block that if you hit it will cause 1 hit of damage to every enemy who is touching the ground or a platform. This will also cause knocked out enemies to wake up. You can hit the Pow Block up to 3 times before it disappears. Now, according to the manual, the Pow Block will reappear every 10 rounds. However, I found that they reappear every bonus round, even the bonus round that happens much sooner than 10 rounds have passed. Also in the 2600 version, you cannot jump on the Pow Block to use it as a platform as you can in other versions of the game. During the bonus stage, you have 15 seconds to collect 8 coins. You can also gain bonus wafers for bonus points that come out of the pipes after you defeat the enemy in the regular stages. Would that be a bonus video wafer? Someone tell 2600 Pac-Man. The main enemies you face in the game are turtle shell creepers, sidestepper crabs, and fighter flies. The turtles are your basic enemies, the crabs take 2 hits to knock over, and the fighter flies are constantly hopping, making them more difficult to knock over. One tough thing about this version of the game is that the crabs must be hit twice before they re-enter the pipes. I often found this difficult as they would speed up quickly after the first hit and make it to the pipe before I could give them a second hit, and then you'd have to hit them twice again. If you select the game with fireballs, they will show up a lot, one at a time, starting at one end of the screen and making a straight line to the other side of the screen where they will disappear, usually only to reappear somewhere else seconds later. Unlike other versions of Mario Brothers, there's no way to get rid of them during play. In later stages, a slip ice will show up that if it isn't taken out, will freeze one of the platforms, making them slippery. However, frozen platforms will thaw out for the next round. One unique feature of the 2600 version is not only can you hit him from below, but simply by touching him when he starts to freeze the floor will take him out as well. Point-wise, you get 800 points per critter you take out, along with 800 points per bonus wafer or coin you collect. You can also get 500 points if you take out the slip ice from below, or 800 points if you touch him while he's freezing the floor. You start the game with 5 lives and get a bonus life for every 20,000 points you earn. Graphically speaking, the levels are pretty bare-boned, but I thought the characters looked pretty good, especially the fighter flies, which I think look better than the weird-looking ones in the Atari 7800 version. There's not much going on in the sound department, but I actually like that Mario moving around sounds kind of like a choo-choo train. And yes, this is a family-friendly game. On eBay, loose copies were going for $15, complete copies were going for $40, and a new copy sold for $130, and those prices include shipping. So what did I think of Mario Brothers on the 2600? Well, overall, it's a decent port of the arcade game considering the limitations of the 2600, but it's not as polished as some other ports to the system like Joust, Dig Dug, and Kangaroo. It can be fun in spurts, but it's not something that I see myself constantly coming back to play. So where am I going to rank Mario Brothers? It's going to be somewhere in the middle. I would rather play Summer Games at 25 or Mousetrap at 26, but I'm going to give it a slight edge over Home Run at 27, another game that can be fun in spurts, so I'm going to make Mario Brothers my new number 27 ranked game for the Atari 2600. Mario Brothers on the 2600 doesn't wow, but it does an okay job porting the arcade game. If you enjoy retro-related videos, would you please click the like and subscribe buttons. You can now support the show through Patreon. Just go to patreon.com/NoSwearGamer. Thank you for giving me a little part of your day, and I look forward to seeing you next time on the next episode of the No Swear Gamer. Take care, and don't forget your bonus wafers.